Yesterday I was out in the garden, of course. I was doing some weeding and making some space for in some beds to plant some peppers. It's pretty late, being that it's, you know, we're getting into the second half of July. But I have these extra peppers that I got from this place, and so I'm gonna kind of put them in and kind of see what they can do. But anyway, that's not the topic of today's video. The topic of today's video is what I discovered when I was weeding that area in the garden. Alright, so today we're talking about the tortoise beetle, and lawnmower is obnoxious, but when I was out in the garden weeding, I saw this strange looking, like what looked like some type of larva, right? It was green, it was kind of segmented, and it had like these spikes on it, you know, like on the perimeter of it. And it was on a sumac sapling, which was interesting, right? And so what this larva can be is actually the tortoise beetle, right, in its younger life stage. Now the tortoise beetle, they can go after different plants, but it kind of depends on the species, and I don't know of any that really go after sumac, right? So that was an interesting observation. But what some of these beetles will attack, what they will consume, are plants in the bindweed family, right? Like the field bindweed, also sweet potatoes in that family as well, morning glories. But I want to circle back to this field bindweed real quick, because on that sumac sapling, if you look at the picture, you can see this vine growing up that sumac, right? And that was the field bindweed. So it may have been like a larva that may have a connection to that field bindweed that was growing on that sumac, and it's actually not necessarily having any effect or impact or any association with that sumac other than just being on it. So the tortoise beetle will attack, and attack might be a kind of a harsh word in this context because it's not really a serious pest at all, generally speaking, but it will eat, will consume the foliage of field bindweed, other plants in that family like the morning glory, sweet potato, which I do have in my garden this year, and then also some of the nightshades like potatoes, peppers, tomatoes, and then there are other plants too, thistles, and it depends really on the species. Some of these species of tortoise beetles will go after certain plants or certain plant families, while other species will go after plants in other families or whatever. And part of the reason why these aren't necessarily a heavy pest could be because maybe they already have some natural predators on that landscape. We have different species of birds, of spiders, right, generalist predators for insects that can that may help to keep these populations in control. And we also have different types of parasitic flies, parasitic wasps like the chalkid wasps, and also ladybugs, right? Especially probably the ladybug larva, which may be more active in working to control the populations of this insect. But overall, seeing this plant on a lot of crops and stuff isn't necessarily a sign for or a call for emergency. Usually it's just an observation, right? And just keep an eye on it to make sure the populations don't get out of control, because usually it's not really going to be much of an issue. Thank you so much for checking out this video on the tortoise beetle. I've definitely seen it before, although in that particular life stage, in its larval life stage, I don't know that I would have recognized it as such, right? But now I can identify it in this younger life stage. It's a very interesting specimen to find, but also it's not necessarily usually going to be any type of serious pest, right? It's not going to crazily attack any type of crop that you're growing, generally speaking, and there may be some natural checks and balances out there on the landscape that can help keep that insect in check. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.